and it is time for the first of two encounters that will be taking place today. We start off with a very entertaining battle because it brings together a team who are showing us what they're capable of doing. And we're talking about Reg. They're in 4th position. They played 1 game and they've managed to record a victory. They come up against Slack, who played 2. They've got 1 win, 1 loss, up in 3rd position. Of course, the top 4 will qualify for Kigali, Rwanda, which will be the quarterfinals. So there's a lot at stake. 5 games for each team, and there's still a lot more basketball to be played. We've got another week of action taking place here in the Sahara Conference. And then we go up to Cairo in Egypt for the other 6 teams' performances. I will now introduce you to my partners in crime. Q is in the house next to me as we get the starting lineup. Q.
Thank you very much, Robbie. Looking forward to this game. Crawford, Obekpa, Miller Jr., Fofana, and Nziakor get the start for Slack. And this is going to be the same starting lineup, not much changes. And Del Miller Jr. really going to have to step up his performance after a disappointing game yesterday. Reg, the only undefeated team other than US Monastir.
And Usher is with us too. Usher, how are you?
I'm very excited. It's a great day of basketball, and I can't wait for the action on the court.
You've got some strong connections and ties with Rwanda. We'll talk about that throughout this game here. It is a big battle. It's a battle, well, in fact, every team would like to record at least 2 wins, get 3, pretty much guaranteed a place in the quarterfinals, in those playoffs that will be taking place in the month of May. Egypt next month for 6 other teams, including the defending champion Zamalek from season 1. This is season 2, of course, and new teams competing, battling it out. And, well, to be perfectly honest with you, when you look at these 2 teams, we've got 2 teams who have never participated before. Rwanda Energy Group. Reg, and we can see that the players are coming out, and Slack, of course, who we've seen a couple of times already, the Guinean champions, Guinea-Conakry, which is a country which is just south of where we are, and a wonderful country. And this is the team for Reg, for Rwanda Energy Group. Some familiar faces once again.
Certainly, Filer going to be crucial. 16 assists he had in the opener. And Zia looking for an improved performance. Thomas Jr., Kambai Manga, and of course Walker, the Skywalker. I think we need to put Sky in front of his name after those 2 amazing dunks.
I can't believe it. You just snatched that up from my list of names that I've got for him. There you go. He's a Jedi of some kind anyway. But the fact is that he really was, you know, walking on clouds, wasn't he? An absolute delight to the eye and an extravagant player. There's a lot at stake. Zeljko Zečević knows that Slack need to, well, try and get their 2nd win out of 3. The 6-time Guinean champions who managed to be AS Police of Mali to qualify through to this for the very first time. First time a Guinean team has actually made it. They got a good roster, they've got a strong roster, and they've already showed us what they're capable of doing by beating Duke, the home team here in Senegal.
Coach Zeljko Zečević, of course, took the Ghanaian team to a credible 8th in that AfroBasket in 2021, and he's going to keep continuing to build. You know, he's establishing a culture, not only a club culture, but a national team culture.
Exactly. And Robert Pack, American coach, is the man in charge of Rwanda Energy Group. Reg, get this game underway. And as you can see, they're playing in white. They're the boys from Rwanda. Last year we had the Patriots from Kigali who are competing as the home team. This year we've got a different Rwandan team because they managed to comfortably beat them 2-0 to qualify, of course, and become the newly crowned Rwandan champions. Slack moving the ball around and trying to find a path into the paint. Nice little move that really was from Miller Jr.
A fantastic block by Kambai Manga in the paint. He gets up really high to erase that shot.
Long range from outside of the D, and it's just come off the ring there.
Always talk about the battles inside the paint, and we're going to look at Obekpa and Kambai Manga going at it.
Well, he's just outstanding, Crawford, isn't he? Wonderful pass there, gets the ball back on the edge of the arc. and there's a long-range shot that's gone in. The rebound's not good, but it has been taken now quite firmly by that man, Manga. Straight down, fast transition, something we'll expect from Regan. And the first points of the game go in, and it's from the big man, Anthony Walker.
Fofana really missed that close range. He had time, space, and should have done a lot better. On the other end, Walker gets himself in, and this is a great move inside, but the defense even better than the offensive move.
Yeah, wonderfully done. Pichu Manga of the Democratic Republic of Congo. There we got Walker, who's trying to get that extra point, but it's just the first two in the bag. It's always good to get rid of the 0 on the scoreboard, isn't it?
Very important. Very important.
Slack trying to find a little bit of space and an opportunity to try and side their way through the defense. He loses the ball quite easily there. Ziakor at the other end, a bit of space out wide and a chance for Unzie. Gets it in, and look at that for a beautiful layup. That was sensational.
I like that decision. He thought about the three-point shot, put the ball on the floor, dribble penetration instead, and floated it over the defense.
Oh, that's a nice bit of space there that he's in the paint and trying to get himself a little bit of space to drop it in. But Obekpa, who was outstanding in their last clash, of course, showing us what they're capable of doing. Didn't manage to beat US Monastir, but put up a good fight for a certain amount of time, but then they just managed to get away, didn't they? US Monastir showing us what they're capable of doing. Finalists from last year.
Monastir played some great basketball, and Slack are going to look to improve their performance today for sure.
Long-range shot just coming off the ring there from Crawford, born in Memphis, Tennessee, the United States of America. Thomas Jr. Very busy so far at this Basketball Africa League. The ball comes out to Manga. Manga is coming off the metal there, but they pick the ball up once again. Get a second chance to try and get themselves some points. It dropped in beautifully for Unzie.
Unzie is looking calm and composed, and that's another great read. Finds space on the baseline for an open jump shot. He only had 2 points in the opener and was 1 of 3 from the field and 0 of 4 from the outside.
That's a beautiful, very smooth shooting there from Christopher Obekpa, the Nigerian. Spent a bit of time shooting and dribbling the ball in New Zealand for the Breakers. Looking good so far. Manga to the hands of Thomas Jr. Getting a bit of assistance, picks the ball up. Here's Filer. Filer trying to get past Crawford, goes for the jump shot on the move there. Beautiful rebounds, and the points are taken very well by Regan at the other end. Slack get a chance. That is delightful, that was. And the transition, very smooth, very slick from Miller Jr.
Well, Unzie, on the other end, Miller Jr. uses his body, because that's a tough cover for Pichu Manga in the paint, but not happy with the referee's call. It doesn't matter because it sends Miller Jr. to the free throw line.
Little bobble off the metal, and finally it's 8-5 with Reg still in the lead, but very good for Slack to get some points back. Filer out wide, good chance to drop in. Oh, it's beautifully done. How about that? Unzie, and he's really underlining his importance at the start of this first half.
Giving us a little insight as to why he was the Rwandan League MVP in 2019, Unzie.
Yeah, they need a sharp shooter, of course, Rwanda Energy Group.
And that is exactly why he was signed by Reg, because he was playing for the Patriots, and in the first round of the qualifiers actually he played for Cobra Sport of South Sudan. But Reg said they needed his services, and just now we see what he's been able to bring to the table for Reg.
Thanks, Sasha. Cobra Sport, of course, qualifying for this second season. We'll get to see how they perform when we head up to Cairo in Egypt next month. Quick transition, easy chance here, should be Miller Jr. Obekpa dropping in for 2, and there are the points that count.
Nice quick dunk by Miller Jr. Not too flashy, just making sure that the 2 counts.
Filer trying to find a little bit of space to finally the ball comes out. It's a chance for him to redeem himself, but the shot comes in from out wide. It's long range. He couldn't tip it in. And Slack, look at that. That is the dream score there coming in. The dunk driven down in there by Nziako.
Looked like he was on a pogo stick, and Nziako just skies up and throws it down in style.
Who needs pogo sticks when you've got natural springs in your legs?
That was my thought exactly.
Beautiful leaping. Look at that for a block there from Obekpa. And all of a sudden, Slack is starting to turn it on. They got a 2 points. They're trailing by 2. Foul's been committed. And they'll get the ball back here. But once again, Slack really quick with the transition.
Obekpa, fantastic blocking, showing why he was the freshman leader in 2012 in the NCAA. 4 blocks a game. And a nice defensive play for them to bring a timeout.
Take a break, back in a moment. Here we are back at the Dakar Arena here in Senegal, and as you can see, it's a 2-point game, and Slack just trying to get the lay of the land, understanding what's going on. They can probably say that they've done pretty well so far. We're going to get a reaction from Usher, who's just been listening in to find out how the Rwandan team are getting on. What are the thoughts from Coach Pak?
Well, Coach Robert Pak is telling the reg players that they need to use Pichu Manga in the paint, and he's telling him he needs to own Obekpa in that paint, go around him so that he doesn't give him a chance to be blocked. And on the other side, the coach of Slack, Sijovic, is saying they need to also play in the paint. So I think we're about to see war literally inside the paint right there.
Well, peaceful war on the basketball court, of course, Sasha. But yeah, I mean, yeah,
Yes.
Absolutely. It's just sport.
Peaceful war.
It's just sport. If I
Yeah,
can say
you
that.
clearly haven't seen what the paint looks like when these guys get involved.
Come on.
Wow.
But yeah, let's just tip our hat to Usher, because roving reporter, that's exactly what she is. She's at one end of the court, she's ripping down the other end, and all of a sudden she picks up these little nuggets of information. Thank you so much, Usher. We'll catch up with you in a bit.
Great defensive possession.
That's
right there.
That's exactly what I was going to say. And this is Slack, who are trying to show us what they're capable of doing. You know what? If they get 2 wins out of their 3, that will put them in a very, very good position.
It certainly will.
You know, they could be the underdogs of this BAL, or what should we call them, the dark horses. Look at that, it's in, of course it's in. Pichu Manga doing the business there with a mighty fine dump. It's a statement.
It was also the great pass from Filer, finding Manga, who threw it down with authority.
Obekpa just driving in and getting 2. It's still a 2-point game. There's a lot of tactics going on the court in the first half here, Q.
It's to and fro, and we like to talk about chestnut drops, chestnut checkers, but it's been great, compelling viewing so far.
Filer for 2, sensational. Great there, very smooth, beautiful trajectory, and the 2 are on the scoreboard now. That's history.
Using the screen from Manga to create that space.
Yeah, you've got to use your big man, haven't you? Just enables a pathway to just open up a little bit. There's no thicket, you know? It's like just making a little clearing so you can get out into that wonderful field to see the view.
I tell you, if I was on the court, it'd be great to get a screen from Pichu Manga. A big unit, and it's very difficult to get around.
Yeah, just a little bit. I'd go underneath his legs, probably. Here we go. They're on the charge once again. Anthony Walker. Walker doesn't get the ball out to his teammate, and here they are, Slack getting the ball out wide. Lots of time, lots of space, and a chance to try and drop something in. It's a drive right through the middle. Look at that old block coming in. Pichu Manga's defensive block there. Sensational on Obekpa.
We spoke about it being a battle in the paint. Obekpa going at Manga, Manga going at Obekpa. This time, Manga, the victor.
And that's exactly what both coaches were talking about at the timeout earlier, and Manga coming out victorious there.
And look, he's just managed to derail their attempt to try and get 2 more points, and you can just see he's a very complicated player to play against in defense. And then offensively, if he's on the charge, well, I mean, if you actually get the chance to go to Banda National Park on a safari, you'll realize that there are rhinoceroses down there. Well, to be perfectly honest, Pichu Mango, when he's going forward, he is unstoppable.
He really is. And I don't think too many guys will want to stand in his way if he's coming at you at full speed.
Come on, you just don't do it. It's just dangerous. As the long-range attempt by Unzier to try and pick up 2. Comes out down the right-hand side. Here they go again. Saliou Mbaye. And, well, once again, you can see that there's another foul. He's the NBA Academy player, of course, who's come in. The point guard, just 18 years of age, Serine Saliou Mbaye, the young Guinean player.
Well, he also gets a lot of usage from Coach Zečević because they don't really have a true backup point guard. And in the absence of Crawford, but he's on the floor right now, they use him in a utility guard position. And he makes good decisions with ball in hand. He's only averaging 2.5 points, 2.5 rebounds, and an assist. It'll just be great to keep him on the floor, building confidence, but he also does add value.
Yeah, just getting a bit of game time. He's already had like 10 minutes 40 so far, and getting a few points to build his confidence, and that's what it's all about. These youngsters who are getting the chance to shine in this wonderful league, well, they will most definitely become bigger and stronger and more confident in the way that they play. I think we saw that with Boubacar Sana yesterday for Duke.
Well, they get caught out of position on the switch and matched up with a much bigger Pichu Manga, and had no choice but to commit the foul.
And just talking about Mbaye, there he is once again. He'll take whatever he possibly can from the likes of Crawford and Zirko Begpa, because it's all about learning, isn't it? And playing with players like that will definitely have a rub-off effect on him in a very positive way. As we see Feiler trying to find his little spot to try and drop in 3. Bit of a scramble in the paint, the ball goes out, and it will be Slack who get possession back.
We talk about good decisions. Feiler doesn't make too many bad ones. He had 16 assists in the opener, and he distributes the ball well. He also had 16 points.
Crawford trying to drop in from long distance. He picks the ball up once again. Look at that. Sneaky Crawford.
Great presence of mind to pick the ball away and get an easy 2 to tie the game up.
Feiler gets the ball out wide. It's another chance for them to try and... Here he is, Manga. Oh, it's a mid-range beauty there from the big man from Lubumbashi, down in southeastern Democratic Republic of Congo.
High usage and rewarding his team with that nice mid-range jumper.
A mid-range jumper for me, if I spoke to my mum, she would say that would be a
medium-sized jersey.
You nailed it, Hugh, you nailed it. Look at that. That is just unbelievable. He's very, very deadly, isn't he? Unshabozwa showed us what he was capable of doing in their first outing, of course, against Ayasale. And he is a real nuisance for his opponents.
They had 20 fast break points in that victory against Saleh, and a big part of that will be Unshabozwa's defense.
Feiler's gone down, big charge there from Obekpa as he came through, crashes down to the ground. I think he's going to be okay, just needs to take a little moment just to get his breath back. And of course they're going to bring him back up onto his feet there, but
waiting for the contact and just threw the ball up, wanted the continuation, and looks like all parity is restored. Everybody is okay out of the contact, and we're back at it.
It's all that matters. Once again, Crawford down in the corner, trying to get past Unshabozwa, and Unshabozwa just getting in his way, but the shot comes in off the metal. Feiler picks it up, and Reg on the attack once again. There's the attempt. Well, it's a mid-ranger. Look at that. Once again, there are players there left, right, and center. The foul's been committed, and you can see that the points have been drained. Excellent work there from Walker.
I like the patience on that offensive possession. And irate right now, Coach Zečević, not happy with anything that he's seeing. Robert Packover, however, probably will be happier that it's thrown up. Second and third chance opportunities, and the foul by and by sends the Skywalker to the free throw line.
Drops it in, and there is the chance. Miller Jr. picking the ball up. It's a little reverse attempt to try and drop the ball in, but it's going to finish the first quarter with a 7-point advantage, and it is Rwanda Energy Group, REG, who have the lead over Slack of Guinea-Conakry. Little break. We'll be back in a couple of moments. Don't go away, wherever you are. So 7 points separate these two teams, and I think that what we've seen so far is that Slack pushing forward, getting themselves a little bit more possession will enable them to get themselves back into it. They've got to be a little bit sharper. They've got to just be quick, and they've got to be present defensively, because the rebounds, just having 3 or 4 attempts to try and drain those two, basically, it didn't give them a good reputation in terms of the defensive game that they should be playing against, especially against a team like REG.
Right now, yes, it is. REG leading the rebounding 16-9, and 5 of those on the offensive end, and that's a stat that will concern Coach Zečević.
Long range for Crawford. It's an absolute blinder there. 3 points added to the tally, and now they've got 18 points, of course, and that's what they can do as well. If they mix it up a little bit and get those long-range shots coming in, it could be raining threes for trees. Trees get planted.
They should get planted, and both teams struggled from the three-point line, so it's not going to do well for the BAL initiative, where we get trees planted across Africa, but they were both 1 of 6 in that opening quarter.
Here is top man Serene Saliumbai, gets the ball out to Crawford. Crawford goes in, and there's the ball coming out wide once again, and the shot clock goes down. Nice little turn. That is really nicely done, but it's not been drained. But the attempt to try and put that in by Miller Jr. comes to nothing at the other end. It's an attempt for 3. This time the rebound is better, and they got a chance now to push up. That's lovely. Oh, my word. The Crawford-Miller Jr. link-up, top-notch on that occasion. That is a pass. Unbelievable pass as well. Walker.
2 great pieces of play, court vision and finishing by both REG and Slack. It's a beautiful game when this happens and the competition level is high.
Usher, have you got some news for us?
Yes, I have some news for you, obviously. So this game is not just about the BAL. There's a bit of rivalry between Rwanda and Guinea, because Guinea defeated Rwanda in the round of 16 during the FIBA Afrobasket last summer in Kigali. So REG are trying to, you know, do some service for the national team players. There's 7 of them on the court right now. So let's see if they'll get the victory at the end of the day.
Thanks very much, Usher. Well, I think we're in a pretty good place to see what this rivalry is what's gonna happen in this opening match. We've got 2 games that are taking place, of course, and how about that? How about that? That is once again what we're looking to enjoy, and it comes from the youngster, of course, from the NBA Academy.
A point guard should not get that high. That's a fantastic dunk, and it's a statement dunk there by him.
24-22.
By just trying to ignite the offense here of this Slack team, and that was fantastic.
Right now, we are going to go across to Usher, who's got a special guest right next to her, who's going to be speaking basketball. Victor Williams, I believe. Usher, it's all yours.
Thank you, Robbie. Now, as you said, I'm here with Victor Williams, who's the CEO of NBA Africa. Victor, welcome to the broadcast. We're halfway through the Sahara Conference Games here in Dakar. How do you find the experience here so far?
Thanks, Usher. We're very pleased with how things are going. It's been great to bring the BAL to a new city, and we're pleased with how the people of Dakar, Senegal, have embraced the BAL. On the court, we're excited about the competitiveness of the teams and the quality of play. It's been a great fan atmosphere, and we're also pleased that we're integrating some of our NBA Academy players into the BAL teams, and they're doing a great job of showing their potential as well.
I'm sure you loved Babacar Sané's performance yesterday with Duke from Senegal. Now, last year, NBA Africa announced the formation of a new entity and a roster of strategic partners and investors. How does the BAL feel and help to achieve the NBA's ambitious plans on the continent?
Thanks. The BAL is an integral part of our plans for growing the game on the African continent, both from a basketball perspective as well as from a commercial perspective. It represents the pinnacle of the development pathway that we've put in place to create opportunities for African youth to play the game from a grassroots level all the way to a professional level. It's our ambition that the BAL will be one of the top professional leagues in the world. And then from a commercial perspective, it enables us to have a live basketball product on the African continent with African stars and heroes playing in front of African audiences in African prime time. And so we think that African brands and companies are going to, over time, flock to the BAL and make it a strong commercial proposition as well.
Thank you, Victor, there. Now, lastly, last month, the NBA Africa celebrated the launch of the Nigerian office. Can you talk about the plans for future NBA expansion on the continent?
Absolutely. We're really pleased to have been able to open that office in Nigeria, the largest country by population on the African continent, and a country from which lots of NBA players have come, or from which their families have come. It's our goal to expand the number of offices on the continent in order to allow us to bring the NBA proposition closer to African fans and African audiences. And so we'll be opening other offices on the African continent, in East Africa, North Africa, Central Africa, and through those we hope to strengthen what we do on the continent.
Now, Victor, I've seen you sit courtside enjoying the games. How do you feel as the CEO of NBA Africa to be here at the BAL?
Overall, it's been a thrill and a joy, and we're very proud of what Amadou and the BAL team, as well as all of our colleagues from around the NBA who are supporting them, have been able to accomplish. At the same time, I'm also looking at it from the standpoint of what could we do better, developing insights that we take back, and we try and improve what we do on the court every day. So overall, very, very happy with how things are going and enjoying the game as a fan as well.
Thank you so much, Victor Williams, the CEO of NBA Africa. Back to you, Roby. I'm sure a lot has been happening on the court.
Absolutely, lots going on here. Thanks very much for your time, Victor, and thank you, Usher. Really nice to hear from the CEO of NBA Africa, of course, who's loving what we're seeing out here. And to be honest with you, we got a timeout, of course, 32-26. So much is going on. Q and I we'll just break it down when we come back from this small interlude. And so we are back, and Reg, well, they've got a 6-point lead over SLAC. They got to a little moment. Wait, look at this man here. Okay, we talked about how important the academy is. He is our 18-year-old gem for SLAC. His name is Serene Saliu Mbai. He's come from the academy, and he's producing some fireworks out there, Q.
It's fantastic. More fireworks, courtesy of Mbai. And the score, Robbie, 32-28. SLAC keep trying to come back. They have not led in this game. And what Reg have done is every time SLAC make a run, they just score a big bucket. And it's been fascinating to watch because there's a 4-point or 2-point threshold, but they're still keeping SLAC away. It's some good game management.
It's exactly that. You can see how important the coaches are. Two good coaches, by the way, who are on the on-court side, making their calls, distributing the information. So important to have leadership on the side, but also on court. They've got two leaders out there on the side of the court, but they've also got leaders on the court itself, on both sides.
It's always interesting watching coaching styles as well. Zečević is a lot more animated as Robert Pack sure does come out, but it seems just a little bit more calm in demeanor while certainly on the sideline. You don't know what happens inside the huddle, though.
Yeah, and it's exactly that. And, you know, you don't know what happened. You don't know what's happening inside of an active volcano if it hasn't erupted, right?
Your analogies are so great, Mr. Knock.
Thank you. Slack in possession. Crawford down in the corner, trying to find a little bit of space. Oh, he's beautiful, isn't he? It's a beautiful shot there, dropped in, and how about that? That's the reaction that they get, and all of a sudden, well, they're up to what, a 2-point difference now. Xhaka's come on, and Boyo's come on, and there's a layup, and they've got the rebound. No, they haven't. Yes, they have. And Slack have got a chance to go ahead, or at least level things up. If they can get points from this, comes out. It's nicely done. Oh, we're going over the top there in a big way. It is that man. Chumanga.
Obekpa with the ball fake, gets Pichumanga in the air, and he wants a call because he thinks it's dangerous play. The drive in by Miller, passes out, and maybe a case for initiating contact as Obekpa looks on with his hands to the side, and the referee's going to confer again. They have only 4 triggers for the instant replay system. I'm not sure that they're going to call it. They're looking for the continuation. They rule no continuation, so it's going to be on the ground. And because Rega in the penalty and in the bonus, we have 2 free throw attempts.
Obekpa, the Nigerian. And as I said, in possession, trying to reel in that lead. And it looks pretty good, doesn't it? They've got themselves, they were 6 points down coming out of the first quarter. 5 minutes into the second, and they find themselves on the cusp of equality in the points department.
Obekpa and Manga doing battle. Obekpa has 6 points right now. Of course, Obekpa spent some time in the G League with the Santa Cruz Warriors. That was in 2016 and 17, and he brings that pedigree to this Slack team.
And we're all square. Yes, we are. 32 points apiece here at the Dakar Arena. It is Rega, which is a team from Rwanda, landlocked country. What such a beautiful place to visit. You really should go if you get the chance. And there's a layup, and it's a beauty. That is a beautiful drive from Filer. Saw his space, saw his path, opened up, wriggled around, dropped it in.
Big bucket, and sometimes it makes it look so easy, but that's a fantastic play given the context of the game.
Crawford and Obekpa working well. That's not nicely placed on the backboard. You can see that he's just, you know, he's doing that like sort of you know, hand scrunch gesture, which basically means that it's just a little bit too hard. A little lighter touch would have been better, Q.
It might have, but I think maybe they got away with one. Looked like Manga had the last touch on that possession.
And a chance for 3, and it's the rebound tidied up there by Obekpa. And how wide it goes to Miller Jr. Miller Jr. waits for a little bit of support. Has it with the youngster on by. Obekpa picks the ball up, trying to go through the middle. Little tussle to try and get hold of possession. He does so well. Now he's got the chance to go for a mid-range 2. Nicely done, very calm and collected.
It shows why it's so important to be patient on the basketball court. He looked at his options after losing control, steps through, sees no defense on him, and knocks down the free throw line jumper.
Yeah, he could have motored right towards the basket as well, I think.
Would have drawn some defense and might have got himself into trouble. Right option at the right time.
That's what I would have done anyway.
You're a little aggressive.
I would have gone through. No messing around with me. Lots of credit there. Look at the reaction there from Serene Saliuabai. He's one of the players who's orchestrated this this comeback to level the scores at 34-34. Lots of credit and kudos from his teammates off the bench. Dropping in for 2, the rebound's been taken smartly and smoothly. It goes right out over the other side, but I'm afraid that's just not 2 hands. Oh, a little bit of a mistake. They got a chance now. Crawford, calmly done. What can they do? Ball into the side, wriggling around, trying to get his layup, his jump shot there, Miller Jr. He gets fouled. And now they got a chance to actually go ahead for the first time.
They do, and that was another great possession He's 6'7" size, makes him a tough prospect in the paint, and so Miller Jr. draws the foul from Nzir. To the free throw line he goes. Second foul for Nzir.
Yeah, we got one player who's on double figures, and as expected, it is that man Crawford. He's just been a leader in that department. 10 points.
I think in the second half you're going to see some adjustments made by Coach Robert Pack, and he's going to switch some matchups onto Crawford to see if he can't unsettle him just a little bit.
Well, the call has been made by the Serbian coach, Zeljko Zečević, and they will, of course, determine exactly what's going on. They've taken off and by, but they will obviously work and try and make sure that they can continue this fine form until the end of the half, and that obviously is prerogative for Zečević.
Certainly will be a prerogative. If you look at the stats very quickly, still dominant on the boards are Reg. They're 18-13, and they're doing a good job picking up and controlling their possessions and not giving away too many second chance opportunities. Nzir leads the way with his 9 points. He went hot in the first quarter, but we haven't seen too much of him since then. Crawford has been balanced in his approach on the other end, and he leads all scorers with 10. Obekwa chipping in with 9 points of his own.
Your man Skywalker's got 7 points as well. But these players really need to try and step up, and I think that's he wants probably more leadership skills on the court, because, well, what they did against AS Sally, Liz Mills, of course, Moroccan team, AS Sally, the Australian female coach who's now at the helm of those Giants from Morocco, was absolutely it was it was a very strong statement, wasn't it? Because we thought that AS Sally would be one of the top teams. They came in, and they've still got lots of basketball to be played. They'll be playing a little bit later against Beta, but around the Energy Group, I mean, they outfoxed them.
And they played the same way they're doing now. They played it close all game and hit big shots when it mattered, and I think we're going to see something similar. I think this is going to be a tight one down the stretch.
Yeah. It's all about runs, Q, isn't it? It's all about runs. Filer tries to drop it in. The rebounds are good. No quick decision to throw the ball long up court on this occasion. Crawford calming things down. Plenty of time. Obekwa just out wide. Miller Jr. trying to go through the middle. Maybe a mistake there. There was too much traffic. Filer's down the right-hand side if they want to get the ball out to him, but it's jump shot coming in, but it's Thomas Jr. unable to land that one.
Now, just a quick one, gentlemen, from this side. The coach of SLAC, Zečević, just told his players and reminded them they have 1 team foul, while Reg have 5 team fouls, so they should drive the ball into the paint. Let's see if they can execute that in the next 2 minutes.
Thank you, Asha. Lovely pass, and it's been dropped in. Fine score indeed there coming from Nzir.
First score of the second quarter for Nzir, and he goes to 11 points on that make.
Playing such an important role, but that Obekwa off the metal. Rebound taken. We're all square at 36 points apiece. Down left side, the attempt to drop into for 2 there.
Shot came too early in the shot clock. He rushed it just a little bit on that possession.
Yeah, it's a strange moment, this, at the end of the second quarter. Oh, it's a really good rebound, but he needs to nail it, but he draws the foul there. And an important player in this squad, of course, isn't he? Nzir goes straight to the free throw line.
And quite importantly, that's going to be the 3rd foul of Bichumanga. So that's a big one, because that might see him go off, and that battle between Obekwa and Bichumanga in the paint and the rebound battle is now skewed towards SLAC. It's also how they've got themselves back in the game, and we have a timeout called.
Yeah, 3rd foul, as you can see, from Pitchu Kamboy Manga of the Democratic Republic of Congo. And there it is. There's the contact, frustration, trying to complain, trying to find a wriggle his way out of that argument, but it's not gonna. It's one-way traffic, I'm afraid.
And that's the thing about Zečević. He's been saying, just get the ball, fake, and he'll come and foul. And it's working for them right now because, like Q said, this is a big moment for Reg. They have to see how to manage that going into the second half of the game. Will they do without Manga? Who else can come off the bench to execute and do what exactly he's been doing in the first quarter?
They do have some big guys in the squad, of course, but to replace him in that role, I'm not too sure if they can deal with that. There's Nzie with his 11 points, 1 assist, and 4 from 6 in the 2-point category.
Well, the only other option, I think, is to move Walker into the center of their paint. He's the only player who stands over 206, and that matchup is going to be very tricky for him. Two different kinds of players. Obekpa is physical, and that might be a tricky matchup, might be the matchup we need to keep an eye on as it goes down. Nziakor to the free throw line.
1:35 left on the clock here before the end, and we can see that the wonderful drive through. Dieudonné Nzie, former Patriots player last year.
He's been red hot, and much better performance personally for him off that 2-point opening performance in their win at AS Saleh. I don't think it'll concern him too much, but he's played the role that he needs to play today, leading all the scorers on the floor.
Nziakor drops the second as they take a 1-point lead. Slack of Guinea Conakry. Guinea Conakry, this is their second. There's 2 sports that matter in Guinea Conakry. Population of 11 million people. It's football, soccer for those on the other side of the Atlantic, and in South Africa, and basketball. Two favorite sports in Guinea Conakry.
Well, it certainly does show, and that just puts a lot more pressure on the players from Slack to produce results every time that they're out there on the floor. And thank you for that insightful information.
Yeah, there's loads more where that came from, and you know, we'll be sharing all of that information, of course, about these wonderful nations that have produced these wonderful teams. Wonderful rebound there once again. It's Nzie doing the business from close range. Just his timing is good and his efficiency is top-notch.
So is his ability to score the basketball.
Oh, look at that. That is just a dream shot coming in from the youngster. And Mbai, once again, just showing us what he's capable of doing. He's got 9 points now.
Playing above his ears right now, and by lots of confidence present with his play on the floor.
But you know what? I think Boubacar Sane is basically, you know, just it's a lovely shot, isn't it? Another 2 points that have been dropped in from your man Skywalker. But you know, Boubacar Sane of Duke has basically just opened up the path for all of the other youngsters from Elevate and these wonderful projects that are taking place that are implemented, you know, in the long term in Africa. With the BAL and the NBA. Oh, drop it in, smash it in, making a statement once again. Obekpa on fire.
Draws 2 defenders, drops it off, and he hammers it down on the other side. Beautiful play.
He's just showing off now, isn't he? Very quick reaction coming in from Walker. There's the area points, and that's the end of the half. And what about that? What about this scoreline we have here at the Dakar Arena for this opening clash of 2? Doubleheader, of course. There's that pass was classy, to say the least. Anthony Walker, the Texan, doing the damage. Now, we're going to take a break. The second half coming up pretty soon, but we got a few features, and we're going to have a little bit of a chit-chat. 42 for Reg, 42 for Slack. Okay, so we are here, and we're in Dakar, and we're in Senegal, and we are, well, having a blast with this battle that's taking place here. It's all tied, and it really is. It's probably the closest encounter that we've seen so far, and in the 4th day of action in this second edition of the Basketball Africa League. Last little moments for these players to talk to their coaches as we gear up for the 3rd quarter. So much could happen. One thing that stands out is, of course, Manga's 3 fouls that he picked up in the first half. Do you rest him? Do you keep him in the team? That's a question that we need to, well, find out. Robert Pack has the answer to that.
I think another key matchup is going to be Crawford and Mchobozo. That is where the game is going to be won or lost. Marcus Crawford with his 10 points in that first half, and then Obekpa will dominate the paint, and that speaks to what you're talking about, Robbie, the matchup between Bishop Manga and Obekpa in the paint.
Yeah, and the 18-year-old from the academy, of course, Serene Salio Mbai, he's got the top percentage of field goals so far. He's 2 out of 2 for his 2-pointers, 3 out of 4 for his 3-pointers, 75% compared to, you know, his teammates, which is not bad at all. He's better than Crawford and Obekpa at the moment.
He's having a fantastic game, and they're going to continue to ride the hot end, earning his place on the team, and you love to see it. The NBA Academy and this wonderful Elevate program paying dividends.
It's what it's all about, isn't it? The charge going through from Thomas Jr. Tries to find a little bit of space. And, well, he's unable to drain it. Crawford picks it up for Slack. Slack from Guinea Conakry trying to get the ball out. It's been picked up by Obekpa. He's just finding himself in the right place at the right time. Comes back out, and a chance to try and send something in from distance by Miller Jr. Drops it down into the left-hand side. It comes off the rim, and the attempt for 3 comes to nothing. Slack missing out on taking the lead in the early quarters of the third quarter.
We've seen the importance of third quarters throughout this competition. It's been a feature. And the ability to make sure that you execute, especially early in the third, and just get some momentum is going to be crucial for both these teams.
So, and this is really bad news, isn't it? He's looking around a little bit like, you know, in shock. He's got his 4th foul, Pichu Manga, and that is not good. And of course, well, he's just drifted off. He's gone straight to the bench. There it is. A little bit aggressive with the way that he was trying to block his man.
He'll be unhappy that it came on the offensive end, but yeah, a moving screen called, and so he'll have to go to the bench with that 4th foul.
That's big news, that is, just at the moment where we're actually talking about him. And Shaka comes on to cover for him. Zie's there as well. Of course, I think that, well, now they've got to change their tactics up a little bit, and it'll be an important moment here for Robert Pack to understand how he's going to work this, because he hasn't got the big man in the paint.
And this, I think, is where Miller Jr. is going to come to the fore, because he's a big point guard, and he likes to go down into the block and pivot left or right where he can create. The coverage problems that are going to come for Reg, and how they figure that out, will be the difference in the third.
Miller Jr. drops that extra point. They take the lead, and is that they went ahead just momentarily, I think, at the end of the second quarter, but they are ahead once again. Early doors in the second half. Here we go. Long range here from Filer. Tidied up at the back by Obekpa. Crawford. Slow down, calm down, and then accelerate. They really know how to just go into overdrive. The attempt to try and drop that in, and the foul has been committed. And once again, you can see that Miller Jr., just like you said, Q, just striving forward and trying to find a little bit of space to produce the layup.
Well, he creates a mismatch problem, and I'm not sure that they have the coverage or the assets on the bench to try and match up well. They're bringing in their best defensive player in Mchobozo, and we'll see how he maneuvers and who he matches up with.
I think it's time to talk to Usher. I think it's a very important time to talk to Usher, because we're going to get her thoughts on what's happening here and how important it is for the Rwandan team to actually perform and get themselves to Kigali next month, in 2 months' time.
Well, obviously, when you think about how the Patriots got to the semifinals last year, Reg know that they have to do everything possible to make it to the playoffs and to be able to play inside the Kigali Arena. It's a 10,000-seater stadium, and you obviously hope that, you know, the home team can play there.
That's a fantastic score, that really is, and it just basically underlines what they're trying to do here. The Ziakor comes to the fore.
Second and third chance opportunities in the paint. Why that is happening is because Manga off the floor.
Manga's gone. Manga's gone. And the great news is that at the moment, and let's just hope and pray that it stays exactly like that, is that you're allowed to have maximum capacity in the Kigali Arena and in all of the stadiums at the moment, Usher, I believe.
Yes, the COVID-19 restrictions at the moment were lifted.
Yep.
And so it's full capacity. We'll have some courtside sitting in Kigali, and that should be beautiful, really.
We'll just hope and pray that it'll stay like that, of course, because that would just turn it into something magical. Last year, very complicated, so well organized by President Amadou and all of the BAL organization and the NBA and FIBA as well, all getting involved and making sure that that bubble was just, well, impenetrable. And it really worked an absolute treat, as we see. Well, Reg trying to find a little bit of space, trying to hit back. They've dropped 4 points down now, and it's Slack who are looking really slick. Long-range downtown shot on the right side, just comes back off the ring, a great opportunity. And the rebounds. Oh, block capital of the world for a moment. And a three-pointer! It's been dropped in. That was sensational. Shobozwa, the man.
It really came from his steal, and that's the matchup I was talking about. Miller Jr. and then Shobozwa matched up. The double block, you said block capital. I haven't seen that happen. Both defenders getting hands on it, and then it comes out to Shobozwa, who knocks down the three.
There's a lot of flapping around. It was a real frenzy in the paint on that occasion, and with 6:40 left in the third quarter, there's so much more basketball to be played here. Slack, of course, winning one, losing one. This is only the second game for the Rwandan team, Rwanda Energy Group.
As if there aren't enough management issues for Coach Robert Pack. Now, Rega in the bonus with 6:40 left. They're going to continue to attack and try and draw fouls and see if they just can't build a lead from the free throw line, or at least that's what the tactic should be.
Robert Pack, very happy to have graced the basketball courts during a special period amongst African basketball royalty. Look at that for a three-pointer, dropped in sensationally. And look, they level it up at 48. And look at that. The reaction, of course, from Shobozwa. Hands thrown in the air. It's all going a little bit crazy here.
You can't put the ball down in front of Shobozwa. It's a danger zone.
He just puts them ahead, steals the ball. As I said, Robert Pack playing with Dikembe Mutombo of the DRC. Oh, my word! The aerial bombardment continues. Three-pointer from out wide. And look, it's Slack who move ahead. What's going on? This is outrageous. Filer files a complaint against Slack.
Back and forth we go. Some great offensive basketball by both teams.
Crawford off the ring. Tidied up. Missed opportunity there. And it's 52-51. Ball comes out, good opportunity, cutting inside, looking to try and get his shot in. Oh, beautiful. Very smooth from Thomas Jr.
Picking up some offense here in the second half. Thomas Jr., that's the second field goal in this third quarter.
Inside, outside, oh, it's beautifully done. How about that? That is top-notch there coming from that man. Ziakor needed to stand up and do something.
Physicality and footwork on display by Ziakor.
Yeah, a very full athlete, isn't he? It's not easy to twist and turn in the paint when you're being very tightly marked. Another chance for Filer to drop 3 points. This is the target. Crawford out wide. Miller Jr. That was a delight to the eye. And the way that he just cut inside, the acceleration, and just beautiful ability to keep the ball away from any defender.
They forced the switch on the matchup, and now Miller Jr. going to the corner. Crawford being the primary ball handler, and it's proving effective once again.
Shobozwa missing out on that occasion. Inside pass, that is, oh, there's going to be a foul. That is big time. You can see Anthony Walker this time. Contact on the wrist, unable to get the shot in.
And they called it intentional. They were looking for the ball where the Slack players. And the question is always going to be, was the attempt made on the ball? I don't know it was, and that's why the referees called it that way.
54-55. Have a guess who we're going to hear from just after the break. Usher, don't go away. We're back here in Senegal, West Africa for the third quarter. We've got 4 minutes left until, well, we enter the final quarter. There he is. It's Ziakour, 13 points to his name so far. Usher was just listening into Robert Pack, who was offering advice, or not, he was pushing advice down the throats of his players. What did he have to say?
Well, obviously, Coach Robert Pack disappointed there with the two back-to-back misses from behind the arc for his players, and he's saying, guys, let's relax. And that's the message that he's been telling them, and you know, they should take their time and play the clock, like run it down. You have 24 seconds on the possession, use it, and make sure that you cut down on that deficit so that they can stay in this game in this third quarter.
You can go and dance with the Senegalese fans now and play some of those jumbies if you like. We'll catch up with you in a minute. Usher, thank you.
Thank you. I'm right here in the midst. If you don't see me today, it's going to be a big problem.
Don't worry, you're very visible, I promise you that. Thanks, Usher. Yeah, relax. Relax is you know, it's one of those bittersweet words, isn't it? Don't relax too much, relax a little bit. Take your time when you've got a little bit of time, but don't relax too much.
Relax enough to read and react and make good decisions.
Right. And you can see the Slacker 3 points ahead, and all of a sudden, it's Reg who get possession. Shobozwa, Željko Zečević. He's such a determined look on his face as a coach on the sidelines. He pours absolutely everything into his team's performance. He shows that on it with his gestures, doesn't he, Q?
So animated he is really from the sideline, and it pays dividends because his team does respond.
Got to get a shot in, but the shot clock goes. And, you know, getting a foul on Shobozwa just when he's basically not going to get his shot in on time was a big mistake from Slack.
That's probably the worst kind of foul that can be committed, and it's right there. It's in front of the referee, and he gets to shoot three. You don't foul the shooter, least of all when the shot clock is winding down. Rather allow him to take the shot at him. Chances are that he probably was not going to make that one.
Yeah, big mistake. Shouldn't say little when it's big, because it was big. It was a big mistake because this will just draw them level at a time when Slack, well, thought that they could push ahead. And of course, he's a top shooter as well from the free throw line. We know that. We've seen him before. Played last year, of course. We saw him playing for the Patriots.
3 big free throws for Shobozwa, and yes, he does shoot the ball at a high percentage from that free throw line.
By the youngster. Oh, it's just gone out away from the target. Shobozwa picks the ball up, gets it out wide. An opportunity to drive in from the right-hand side. The attempted layup from underneath the basket, and they pick the ball up, and it's that man Mbaye. He wants to try and redeem himself. Loses possession, but it does come off. I think it did come off.
Cleveland Thomas, as he got.
Cleveland Thomas Jr.
Got a hand on it as it came around and knocked it out of bounds, and I think
got a timeout.
Going to give us a timeout.
And gentlemen, just to tell you that Coach Robert Pack just introduced their NBA Africa Academy player, perhaps to counter Mbaye on the other side of Slack.
Every single game right outside the arena. Play games, win prizes,
Usher. Yeah, carry on, Usher.
Yes, I was saying that Coach Robert Pack just introduced Joy Godovja from the reg side. Is an NBA Africa Academy player, perhaps to counter what Mbaye has been offering for Slack.
17 years of age from Nigeria. Of course, we've got some wonderful young players great skill sets. They just need that game time. So this, in fact, is a brilliant way to introduce them, you know, to a professional league. And this league, as Victor Williams said, the CEO of NBA Africa earlier today, he said, these guys are the future. We want this to be one of the best pro basketball leagues in the world.
And with the system in place, it certainly can be. It's an interesting move as Igor Dovjak comes in for his debut in a tight game with 2 minutes 51 seconds left, and is matching up with a young scorer who's playing confidently. This is a big moment for him.
The two 12s, and look who's marking who. The two youngsters are on each other, of course, as we see they try and drop it in for 2 points, and the paint comes to nothing, and they have to go back and try and sort themselves out, and Ziakor unable to do the damage. It goes over the shot. Look at that from Thomas Jr.
Making the extra pass, and the floater goes over the defense and now gives Reg a 2-point lead.
A floater, oh, he's dropping it up there. There's I don't know what Crawford was trying to do. There was no one there, and look, they at it again. Well, the attempt to try and chuck it up underneath, teasing the defense there from Thomas Jr. comes to nothing.
Obekwa went straight up and no contact on it. It was a good call by the referees.
Foul committed. Defensive foul. I think it was
Miller Jr.
I think it was, yeah, it was Miller Jr.
Picks up a second. Only the second team foul.
Yeah, well disciplined out here compared to Reg. Attempt for three, tidied up at the back by Obekpa. Miller Jr. Well, sensational. The pass was beautiful. But how about that for a beautiful finish from Christopher Obekpa?
Obekpa is getting it done. He's also doing some great work on the defensive glass. He's got 9 rebounds.
It's the youngster, wasn't it, Mbaye, who I think committed the foul. Didn't allow the ball to come up. Good attempt to rise up in the paint. Very difficult, isn't it, in that position? There is. Takes the ball cleanly.
So much patience by Eli Kaje in the paint. Just 3 defenders around him, multiple ball fakes, and one of the defenders committed to it. And I think you're right. I think they did call it on Mbaye.
Eli Kaje, the 26-year-old, 6'5".
Only had 2 points in 16 minutes in their opening encounter. And 2 big points for him at the free throw line.
Well, neck and neck still, 1:25 left on the clock in the third quarter. And it just spills into the third quarter, and it'll probably be the same in the fourth. It's very, very tight indeed. But just remember, we got Pichu, who's fouled out, of course, with those 5 fouls. That is a sensational drop in to say hello from that man, Crawford.
Crawford seems to like the matchup with Nshobozwa. He's comfortable every time Nshobozwa is on him, and he's made him pay every time that matchup shows up on the defensive rotation.
So quick, isn't he, Nshobozwa? Very, very quick player. And he tries to score the 3-pointer. Obekpa on the rebound, doing really well defensively. He's been tidying up so much at the back.
He has a double-double now with that rebound. 13 points along with his 10 rebounds.
Crawford with, again, level at 61 points apiece. Picked up at the back, tidied up at the back. Once again, you can see them, they're trying to get themselves those vital points. Well, a phase of play that doesn't finish off with points. So Obekpa again to the 4. Great chance for Slack to try and get some points here. The rebound draws the foul as well. Good strong drive into the paint there. Just see exactly what he's trying to do. And Ziakor needs to come to the 4, and I think that he is. He knows that it's a very important phase of play for him.
He's being aggressive every time he gets a touch of the basketball. They're going to him, and he is rewarding them. 15 points for Josh Ziakor. And again, they have no answer for him inside the paint because their paint protector is on the bench.
That's it. That's the story from this encounter. There he is hitting the deck, of course, and they just take the lead. We got 10 seconds left in the third quarter before we'll take a little break and come back and enter what should be a riveting, thrilling, exciting encounter to this first of two battles taking place here in Dakar, in this wonderful West African nation of Senegal. Long range shot, drained by Thomas Jr. And there you have it. Just when we thought that SLAC would just move ahead, Reg come back and they respond with a three-pointer from downtown.
A buzzer beater to close out this third quarter and give Reg just a little bit of momentum, and rips the net, takes the momentum and the lead into the fourth quarter.
The timing was perfect. A little break. We will be back. We are back. We are just waiting for the last little moments of communication between the coaches, their players, before the officials get everybody back on court. The stats, well, that's a little summary, I suppose, isn't it? 6-23, 3 points. That's not good enough. 5 of 11. It basically means that SLAC haven't been shooting from downtown too much, have they?
They really haven't. They've moved the ball around, 26% from the outside for Reg, but that's the way they play this game. No real differential in the field goals, only 1%. 44 plays 45, and one really interesting feature, I think, for SLAC is that Marcus Crawford, or Chris Crawford, and Christopher Obekpa have not left the floor. They've not been given a rest. They played all 30 minutes of this encounter so far.
Yeah, but that's basically what they do, isn't it? I mean, when you actually look, he Obekpa 32 minutes in the last game. Crawford, I think, was like 37 or something like that. I mean, it's just, yeah, he needs them on the court, doesn't he? It's as simple as that. Crawford out wide. Here he is, Nigerian Obekpa. Trying to tussle, trying to turn. That is sumptuous. If it goes in, that was beautiful. Look at what he did. The pass from Obekpa was absolutely sublime. Finished off by Mbai, who's just understanding how his teammate plays, because he's only 18, and obviously, you know, he's had to step it up a bit.
Great recognition on the baseline cut for the easy layup.
Oh, my word. Dropping in a big, big three-pointer there coming in from Axel Mboyo.
First field goal for Lampoyo. It's a big one.
Needed that. Here's Mbai. Oh, Mbai up against Shobozwa. Steals the ball. Look at him. He's accelerating forward. He's going to go all the way. A dream score there for the Rwandan.
The lane opened up, parted like the Red Sea, and he got 2 more to the total.
Beautiful little show and go. 69-65. And a 4-point lead there for Reg, as they are, well, just showing us what they're capable of doing. And they want to just turn up the heat they can.
This is that beautiful pass in between the defense, and the reverse layup comes up off the backboard. Just cutting behind the defense, no one there, and the easy layup with no one around him.
Mbai. Off the metal. Shobozwa picks the ball up out wide once again. Loads of time, loads of space. Zie.
Yeah, it looked like a travel, and
yeah,
it was.
Very frustrating. They're the kind of mistakes that you don't really want to see.
And they had numbers in transition. They held it up and didn't find the ideal option. What they did find, though, was an unforced error, really, and a turnover. And that's big, given the context of this game.
Yeah, this is going to go to the wire, of course, and I think we've got a timeout. And we are going to take a small break before we come back and see what's going to happen here at the Dakar Arena. It's 69-65 for Reg of Rwanda. Serene Saliombai of Slack gets the play going once again. Chris Obekpa, nice pass inside, and Mbai tries to get it back out. That is neatly done. Crawford for three. Comes back off the ring. There's the rebound, 2 rebounds, 3 rebounds. Shabozwa does the business here, and it comes out, and it's Thomas Jr. just calms things down. They got a 4-point lead calmly.
Big misses at close range on the second and third chance opportunities, and that's going to be telling, I think, as the game develops.
Shabozwa. They get possession back. Slack a little bit lucky. Mbai up against Shabozwa. He'll know that he's a youngster, of course. He'll try and use his wisdom and intelligence and his experience to try and steal the ball out of his hands. The attempted layup right through the paint. He's being monitored there by Shabozwa. Down into the corner, chance for Nzie. There's the pass into the paint. Once again, it's Boyo's unable to deliver.
Nziako and Obekpa patrolling the paint, and that time Nziako comes away with the block.
Crawford for 3. Oh, that is a dream shot there by the American. And he extends his tally to 18 points now, top scorer ahead of Nziako, who's on 17.
1-point game. Each possession so important.
He's going on a bit of a wonder as Thomas Jr. Nice little ball. The pass into the middle. But again, that's 3 plays. Oh, nearly lost the ball away. Got to watch out. Someone's behind your back. We're going to Usher. Usher, where are you? What's going on? What have you heard? What are your thoughts? What are you thinking?
Well, I'm just sitting next to the Slack bench and just listening into what the coach Zečević is telling his players. Is saying Robert Pack has gone small on the court, and so they need to try and find a way of blocking and playing good defense to, you know, make sure they don't shoot from behind the arc, because that could change a lot in this game, and that would obviously mean that Rec would take the lead, and they would be in trouble, because this is literally the last quarter of this game.
Yeah, it's getting quite tight, isn't it?
You talk about matchup problems. Chris Crawford hasn't really made the afternoon very difficult as far as Reg is concerned. They've thrown different guys at him, but he's been pretty comfortable. He's compiled his 18 points in a very composed manner and continues to do so. And then I think he's going to be a big factor in the final 5.
Cleveland Thomas Jr. keeping him busy. There's the score there. Crawford just notching, going up to 20 now.
Playing big.
Slack moving ahead. Yeah, big score. Greg looking to try and register their second win in as many games after beating AS Salé of Morocco 91-87. There he is once again, just going straight through the middle. Little jump shot there from Thomas Jr. comes to nothing. Once again, too many missed shots really from mid-range. From the rebounds are not being secured. That just basically tells you how nervous they are out there, I think. You know, there's definitely nerves on the court today because it's so tight.
This could be a big moment as they try to figure out who the foul was called on. So Pichumanga just in the thick of things, and he's on 4 fouls. He could easily be shifted out the game on just an infringement. And they do call a foul on him, so that is his 5th foul. The referees looked at it, they made the call, and on the replay, I do think there's some validity in it. His hand was outstretched. He was caught behind the play, and the foul was committed. So that's 5, and that's the end of his afternoon.
Yeah, with just under 5 minutes to go. And a brief moment where he just came on, and then all of a sudden he goes back off. He was obviously a key player that was that Robert Pack wanted to come on for this finale, this final run-in. You know, the business end to this battle. But all of a sudden, they don't get the big man back.
Now he is going to have to manage his small ball lineup and see how that works for him.
Filer gets the ball out wide, and there's a long-range shot, and again it's a shot that comes back off the ring, and that's gone out. That will be, I think,
Out of bounds, wonderful.
possession for Reg, for the Rwandan team.
Bai was body on the line, trying to keep that alive, just couldn't do it. And you've got to love the effort from the young man on the floor.
Guinea Conakry, Slack team leading by 2. Fantastic country to visit, by the way. Just on the Atlantic coastline, Senegal to the north, Mali to the northeast, Cote d'Ivoire down in the southeast, Sierra Leone and Liberia in the south. Famous for its waterfalls.
I haven't been out there, and I think got to add it to the list of desired travel destinations.
Well, beside the fact that they love to drum and they love to dance and they love to eat really well. Long-range shot coming in, just coming off the metal. Chance there for a rise-up shot from Walker, but the call is going against him, I'm afraid. Now, I talked about waterfalls in the lower and the middle regions of Guinea. You've got these fantastic waterfalls. There's one called the Voile de la Mariée, the Bride's Veil waterfall. It's in Dubreka. Go and visit it if you can. But imagine that, the Bride's Veil. Isn't that a beautiful way to describe it?
Absolutely fantastic. It's so visceral and so visual.
Crawford trying to drop in for 2. Jump shot mid-range, comes back off the metal. We've got 4 minutes left to play. Shabozwa gets the ball out wide. They're just passing the ball around. That's a fantastic drop in from Thomas Jr. And finally, the range is good down this left side. And that's an important score because the Rwandan team move 1 point ahead.
They've played tight throughout all of these shots, big shots, and BMT going to be very important here down the stretch.
Here they go, driving again. Oh, he's just come across. Obekpa with the block was just classy beyond belief.
I thought that came off the backboard. Could have been a goaltend. Marginal call.
He hawked in and just managed to get it away. Look at that. The response, Thomas Jr. 2 straight threes. Well, of course he can raise his arms up in the air. There's been a timeout. And it's been called by Slack, of course, because a 4-point lead with 3:13 left on the clock. It basically tells you something. We're entering a very important part of the game now, Q.
So Thomas Jr. goes into his crossover package, puts the defender on the floor, and knocks down a big 3. And it's almost breathtaking what we're seeing here in terms of competition. That's one of 4 players in double figures for Reg. Nzier with 13, he's got 16, does Thomas Jr. Shabozwa's 15, and Walker has chipped in with 11. On the other side, it's been Chris Crawford, 20 points, Obekpa 13, and Miller Jr., Bai, and Nzier Core with his 17.
I just like the way that Cleveland Thomas Jr. has been working really hard. You know, he's ever present, going around, finding some space. The passes are good, gets himself a little bit of space, and his long-range shooting has been very good. Chris Obekpa a little bit frustrated there. You can see that he's a little bit annoyed. 13 points, 4 blocks. But Cleveland Thomas Jr., of Louisiana. There we can see the blocks coming in from the Nigerian. Obekpa, very present indeed. There you go, there's the touch. Get rid of it, get it out. It's not coming into my house.
The replay clearly shows that there was no backboard involved, and that was beautiful, beautiful defense.
Usher, what did you hear? Oh, drive in for 2.
Just listening in to the players, there's a lot of tension on both benches, but Coach Robert Pack is saying they need to run the clock. It's 24 seconds on every possession, so let's see how much they can go.
And again, a nice little chance to try and drop in for 2. It's a 2-point lead. They want to get the ball back. Look at that. That is top class indeed. That's one way to just come in and say hello. Smashed in there by Obekpa. And we're all level at 75 points apiece.
What a fantastic play, especially in a pressure situation. Great finish.
Filer out wide, and Shobozwa with the drive. That's not a good pass, and it's been picked up. It's there for the taking, Crawford. And it's a tense, tight tussle now as the charge down from Slack to try and drop in for two. That was a big score as well, coming in from Miller Jr.
Making big plays down the stretch here are the Slack backcourt, Crawford and Miller Jr. Good decisions.
Another foul committed. I'm just gonna understand what happened there. I think it was Obekpa, wasn't it? Yeah. Oh, look at that. I mean, they're playing volleyball on a basketball court. That's just unbelievable.
Touch pass to Obekpa. That's just such great court vision and touch, and no prettier play in any kind of sport. The aerial assault by Obekpa.
Could go to overtime, of course, if we're all square. Timeout that's been called by the Rwandan team of Reg. Hungry for this victory. Played second fiddle. No, they managed to beat AS Sally 91-87. They got one win. Hungry for win number 2, but Slack moving ahead after those fine scores.
We've seen how important the management of talent is and understanding strategy. Right now, there's been nothing to choose between these two teams. And looking at what can possibly unfold, the ball is going to go into the hands of Chris Crawford as far as Slack are concerned. And Thomas Jr. as well is going to have to orchestrate the offense. They might take offensive responsibility individually, but they'll also try and run plays on the offensive end to try and get high-level execution.
Usher, have you got a nugget for us?
Yes, from Coach Robert Pack of Reg, and is telling his players to look for the easy points. So go to the basket, attack it, and see if they can, level up this game. But it is ball possession for Reg. Let's see what they'll do with this one.
Shobozwa needs movement from his teammates. That's nicely done. Tries to find a little bit of space. It comes to nothing. Slack. Well, they retrieve the ball. They consolidate, and they take the ball forward. It was well played, that was indeed there from Miller Jr. taking it up, and they lose possession. Shobozwa, he's such a dangerous player, isn't he?
A terrier and a terror every time he's in front of you. That's just good defense.
Every time I see Shobozwa, I think about energy, energy, energy.
Rwanda Energy Group. There it is. The attempt at 3 and the foul. And look, we're going to go to the free throw line, I think, now, because you can see what happened there. Cleveland Thomas Jr. draws the foul, and it's going to be like that for a little while. They get one.
Going to have to draw on all of his college experience right now. Cleveland Thomas Jr. played out in New Mexico, Hartford, and West Kentucky, and that'll all help him in this environment. 2 of 2.
And it is 3 from 3 for that man, Cleveland Thomas Jr. And look at the Rwandan fans. They're here in the stands watching as we're down to 1:18 on the clock. Crawford up against Shobozwa, trying to find a little bit of space. Can't wriggle away from the Rwandan.
4th team foul. And all afternoon he's been struggling, hasn't Shobozwa? That's the one matchup that has not gone his way.
That's true. 3rd foul there for Shobozwa. Crawford picks the ball up. Little change of man-to-man marking on that occasion. Oh, it's been dropped in. A beautiful score indeed. He is just on fire, working really, really well, isn't he, Crawford?
That is such great court vision and a big-time play by Crawford here.
Shobozwa. 78-79. And the defensive foul, good drive through, drawing the foul, Thomas Jr. 44.7 seconds on the clock. This could go absolutely anywhere, Q.
Both premier guards, Thomas Jr. and Chris Crawford, being given the basketball and license to play and create the scoring their way. And it's been back and forth that way, and I don't think it's going to change in the final 44 seconds.
Zajko Zečević, very busy on courtside as well, as you can see. 20 points there for Cleveland Thomas Jr. Where is this going to go? High-octane basketball being played here for this opening clash of two today. 33 seconds, the clock is going well as the balls come up. Has anybody got it? Oh, Nshabozwa has taken it. Now, what can they do? Slow things down. He's looking at the clock. He knows that there's a difference, of course, about 6 seconds.
About 5.8. 4.8.
4.8.
They're going to have to foul.
They're going to have to foul. Third foul, that is for Fofana. Nshabozwa. Oh, he's dropped into the middle. They've given the ball away. This is very dangerous indeed. And racing up, Obegba. Can they get the ball back out? Obegba. Oh, he gets the two. They move ahead. And it's Slack who have a 1-point lead. The timeout has been called. Of course it's been called. 7.8 seconds left on the clock.
But that was a really interesting sequence of play, but that was even bigger bucket by Obegba to give Slack a lead. Just 1 point in it. And we have 7.8 seconds left in the story between Reg and Slack. Can still go either way.
It's a crazy pass, wasn't it? It was just in the, put in the basket.
I think the referees were trying to call. They were looking to take the foul, but Poyos threw it away and handed it right to Obegba. That might be the telling moment in this game.
Usher, the telling moment. What can you hear? Well, Usher's there, I think, but...
Do you want me to spy for you or what?
That's why you're here.
Well done, Robbie.
Sorry. What's the play?
Well, the play is very simple. Obviously, very smart move there from Robert Park to call for the timeout, obviously to tell his players what to do, but also the ball starts from the center line, and there's 7.8 seconds on the clock. He's saying they need to, rotate that ball real quick and get an open shot, but if that's not available, then they drive to the basket and get the easy two.
That pass there, Q, unbelievable. Thanks, Usher.
You're welcome.
They've made some really big plays down the stretch, and where it's come from is the ability to make the extra pass. We've seen some great individual play, but we've also seen some unselfish play from Slack.
Okay, here we go. This is most definitely money time.
This is where the practice court pays dividends.
Nshabozwa, got to get the shot in 6 seconds. There's a chance. Thomas, Reg, Nshabozwa. Look at that! Look at him! Look at the celebrations! That's what it means to them! Oh my word! Absolutely remarkable how to win a game. They've done it. They've done it. And it came from downtown. Nshabozwa dropping it in. High and dry. In she goes. The celebrations are there. And the victory for Rwanda Energy Group. That's 2 wins from 2 for the Rwandans.
What an awesome moment. What a fantastic shot. Created off the dribble. Kicked out to the open shooter. And Nshabozwa, composure, presence of mind, knocked it down.
Well, it doesn't come better than that. The suspense threading itself all the way through until the very, very end. What a What a fantastic finale. And we're going to get a reaction from one of the players in a moment.
And this is
And,
what basketball is about, ladies and gentlemen. We're doing it live and direct and straight from the front clip.
And all we can say is that that was a thriller, wasn't it?
That was probably the best game we've seen in this competition so far. Thomas draws two defenders, kicks out to the wide open Nshobozwa. It's a pressure shot. He's practiced this probably 1,000 times, and this time makes the big time play to give Reg an important win.
And just the fact that it's actually, it rolled around, it was teasing us until the very last moment, but look at that. Reg take the victory, 83-81. That's 2 wins from 2 for Reg, and they'll take a lot from that. But SLAC, full credit to the team from Guinea-Conakry. They played valiantly, and they must feel a little bit disappointed with the defeat, losing at the wire, just at a moment when they thought that they could do it.
While we were treated to really competitive basketball, so many lead changes. They were tied 10 times, 11 lead changes down the stretch. Both teams finding great executions. This was one of the highest quality games that Basketball Africa League has put on show in this Game On 2022 season. And what fantastic way for it to end. There's got to be a winner, there's got to be a loser, Robbie. And I don't think the game of basketball lost today, but unfortunately, SLAC have got to go back to the drawing board, and Reg will take that win, I think, with a lot of pride.
Yeah, that's definitely the case, isn't it? Well, I think we're going to get one of the players' reactions in a moment, and I think that they're coming back out, the players, because you've got some of the Rwandan officials here who've come and got behind the team, which is just brilliant. And the celebrations. Well, obviously the celebrations. This is big. This is a big win, and to register two wins, and then thinking about what's going to happen for the quarterfinals in Kigali, Rwanda. Of course, that's a good place to be, isn't it?
It keeps them as one of the 2 undefeated teams in the tournament so far, and it sets them up. All they've got to do, I think, is pick up one more win. And
okay, let's go and ushers with Jean-Jacques Nshobozwa. Let's get his reaction.
Thank you very much, Robbie. Now I'm here with Nshobozwa. I've just said Numukiza. Nshobozwa, félicitations, congratulations. Big victory for Reg. How important was that?
Thank you. It was very important. It was second win. We had the first one. We keep getting better every day. We needed to win at least 2 games. Then you can be sure that if we win the third one, we can be able to play the final in Rwanda. It's a great win for us, and we thank you for God for that.
What was going through your mind when you took that last shot?
It was like my last chance, and I had to do it. I was trying to play all the game good. I say let me do this, let me try it, because we live by everything we do that in life. You have to take a risk. I took the risk, and the second was already over. I had to do that. Yeah.
Every time the coach gives you an opportunity to step on the court, you come with a lot of energy on defense, especially. What goes through your mind when you play such defense?
What comes in my mind is if I don't score, I'm not allowed to anyone to score on me. That's the first mindset I have. So I have to make sure my guard doesn't score on me, and I have to score on him. That's what a good player must do. Yeah.
Now, congratulations, Nshobozwa, and fantastic performance there. All the best in the remaining games in the tournament. Now, Robbie, back to you.
Thanks very much, Usher, and congratulations. We'll call him Mr. Electricity, because I think that what he has managed to do out there today is just brilliant. He really did put himself into threw his hat in the ring and said, I'm going to play a big game out here today, and that's exactly what he did, because obviously they lost a key player in Pichu Manga, but just look at that. 24 for Thomas Jr., and Nshobozwa with 15, 13, and the rebounds 5 for Thomas Jr. as well. Walker not quite low-key out there today. On the other side, 20, 17, 17, 16, of course, some big points there for the 4 top players, but they still didn't manage to do it, SLAC.
They didn't, and it was still a valiant effort, and what a What a fantastic game. We have a look at the closing stats and the three-point line. Won it eventually for Reg with the 10 of 29 from the outside. There were limited attempts as far as SLAC were concerned, 6 of 14. 47%, they were better from the field. And the free throw line also a big factor in what went down. But the stats do reflect what we saw, Robbie. It was very little to choose between the two teams. And wow, what a fantastic game.
It was won by Mr. Electricity. Mr. Electricity did the damage. Unshobozwa with that winning three-pointer. And the Rwandan fans celebrate because it's 2 out of 2 for this team, Rwanda Energy Group Reg. Congratulations to them. We'll see SLAC come back of Guinea-Conakry very soon, the 6-time Guinean champions. From us, we'll say see you later because AS Saleh of Morocco up against Ferroviario de Beira of Mozambique. Coming up in what, just over an hour and a half.